I want to ask, how many of you have had the pleasures I've had to listen to this young man live just one time? Anyone has heard him live one time? Yes. Hands up. Yes. Good. First off, And1Dunna is not just reflective of his spoken word talent. The man is a writer. The man is a performer. He does also rap. He also writes. He also does spoken word. He has been on every stage imaginable, has his songs on YouTube. You can find him there. You can find him on Instagram, find him on Facebook. I have personally been with this man in the dungeon when we are writing, when we are practicing, when we are going at it for hours and hours and hours, just trying to find one word to fit into place so that this poem reaches where it needs to for you. I want you all to put all of your hands together as I introduce my friend, a young man who really needs no introduction, the performer for the night. Y'all give it up for Mr. And1Dunna!
Y'all can hear me? Yeah. All right. Tonight I see a lot of unfamiliar faces. I said tonight I see a lot of unfamiliar faces. There we go. So for those of you that don't know who I am, well, allow me to introduce myself. I am a poet. I am the fly guy Bowen. I am Sun Tzu, and the art of war I master is heroic. And it's real because you know it. I am a man who holds life in the palm of his hands. I don't sit still, I make stands in broad stance. I am the son of royalty. My roots run deeper than the study of botany. I am a prodigy. My life is a summation of anomalies, and I breathe quantum theories and HD quality. I am the smooth talker, love doctor, daddy long folks, seduce daughters, 7-inch monster. I am the truth. Ironically, that's lying in you. The voice of bottled strength that is hidden in you. I am the core, the heart of a Phoenix Shakur, and the legacy of my offspring forever lives on. I am the song signed solemnly engraved by our fathers. I am hope of lost souls killed off like martyrs. I am Peter before doubt when he walked on water. I am belief. There's power in the tongue, and I am what I speak. I am stunning. The thoughts brainstormed by God when the earth was nothing. I am And1Dunna. There were none before, and there will be none after. Therefore, that makes me the one and only. I'm a rapper who enjoys poetry, a poet who enjoys rapping. My favorite food is pizza, and I'm 25 years young. Oh, and I drive a Honda. Wink, wink. That makes me a daddy. And for the record, I ain't no player, but I crush it. Okay. And I've crushed a lot of hearts chasing dreams that money can't buy, so don't judge me. Cause ain't no free trial in life, and winning this race is my only chance at freedom. Recently, I've found comfort in open books, novels of men walking in purpose. Laws of power empower my mind, body, soul, soulfully sold on the fact that knowledge is key, and these locks ain't holding me back no more. As a child, expressing myself wasn't easy. Often I was muted like channels, muted like children shouldn't speak unless spoken to. I wonder if my silence was as vibrant as the songs I sang. Then it must be true that kids do say the darndest things, and all that to say, my words are powerful. When I speak, the atmosphere shifts, speaking spells over life. My life is magic, and I live with no regrets, cause this moment is as honest as it gets, and I get to be honest, for real. I feel good tonight. That was a mashup. That was a mashup between two poems I have. One entitled Affirmations of a Poet, and the other My Honesty poem. Before I came on stage, A friend had WhatsApp me. I was reading it. She just was like, I know you have all of these poems, you do your thing, but I want to hear some love poems, I just want to feel it. I know you come in with your vibes or whatever, the vibes, but we want some love poems. I had to tell her, I said, usually I don't write love poems, but if this were a love poem, I'd probably write about her. I'd write about the richness in her melanin, the 14K in her skeleton, because her love, shit. Let me write that back. Y'all clip me up.
Come on.
If this were a love poem, I'd probably write about her. I'd write about the richness in her melanin, the 14K in her skeleton, because her love is one. See, to me, she's a diva, with the voice of Aretha and a goddess like Athena. And I submerge in her marina because I'm drowning. Drowning in love, drowning in lust, I drown as I thrust deeper. I find comfort in the sweet of her sweetness that I call medicine. Her benevolence like sedatives I'm addicted to. The passion in her passion fruit surpasses my mental capacity, and I'm numb. Dumb, founded yet grounded by the depth of her roots, by the grip of her noose I hang. To the words in Proverbs for the 31st time. For each 31st day that I pray that if this were a love poem, I'd write of her Sundays. Her smiles like sun rays shed light to my Mondays. Cruise through Tuesdays, overcome humps on Wednesdays, but Thursdays are those days on weekend. So weekends bring strength to our weekends, and we mend the force called balance and embrace each challenge. Her name is beautiful, and I call her often. She is the soft pillow on the hard days that I face often. Her love is constant. Her love is God sent. That her love is God sent. That calmness that surrounds my conscious. Consciously, I've never written a love poem. Well, at least till now. And now that I'm enwrapped in her presence, well, I at least know if this were a love poem. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that piece is entitled Melanin Summer. I wrote it last year. I found myself doing a lot of writing between the past 3 years. I really got engaged in spoken word in 2016. And it's interesting enough to say that in 2016 I participated in a showcase called Mobs, where I had the opportunity to network with a lot of other artists. Not just artists in terms of spoken word or rapping, but instrumentalists, I had the opportunity to meet this young man who I'm about to call to the stage. This is his first time touching the Miscellaneous Poetry stage. So I would like you all to welcome me in introducing Mr. Matthew Johnson to the stage. This is a very deep piece and personal piece to me. It's entitled Redemption. It's my first time performing it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Redemption. Redemption. Oh, by the way, for those of you who want to get in contact with me and just check out more of my poetry, you could reach me on all social media platforms at And1Dunna. That's And1Dunna, shameless plug. Y'all clip us up, man. Y'all clip us up. Redemption. I grew up in a religious dogma. Some call it home, others a haven for their mind. But for me, I knew it as the church. And I've known it as such from a child in the pews of faith, or doubt, or grief, or whatever you call a child who's consumed by the tenet of this world. I remember the incense. Left haze like imprints on my memory. What's energy to a child? That frequency frequently left me lost repeatedly. I eagerly searched for the word, but the church folk measly felt tradition was all that I needed, when all that I needed was his grace. Felt God-like in God's body, but didn't know God's space. I was hurting. Like most young folk who rather jump out than drown in their judgments, I left. Not sure of the path in death, but I walked regardless. Tread lightly through darkness. No shadow of doubt in mind, though bereaved was my conscience, I felt alone. In a desolate place with trembling faith, and the tune of fear crescendoing through my body. Still, I was brave enough to hum along, read a psalm, found strength in a fortress called God, held on to my crucible and marched forth in progression, found God in my depression and write these poems as healing. Honestly, I don't know how to turn water to wine, but I water my mind in aquatic designs, and the strokes of my pen drip slow. That's spiritual. God speaks and I write miracles. I draw myriads, give you the picture. I make visuals. I tell you, redemption is real. And the more I see, the closer I am to atonement. The more I see, the closer I am to atonement. Closer I am to atonement. You know what I like about poetry? It creates an opportunity for me to share the most vulnerable parts of myself, apart from just giving you all the idea of who I am, just sharing my journey, sharing my experiences with you all. I'm just grateful for this opportunity once again, you know what I mean? On a lighter note, recently I changed jobs, Yeah. I'm finally at a place where I really feel like I'm walking in purpose, finally feel where I'm valued and appreciated. And a lot of times we work on these jobs and they don't give us that vibe. For me, I felt that way. I didn't feel valued, and I felt really bogged down, tired, to the point where I had to write a poem about it. And it's entitled Anxiety Attack. And it goes like this. It is 7:51 a.m. and the sun is basking overseas as still as my thoughts on this Monday morning. My emotions, like seagulls, take flight. Cold sweat now jet down my cheeks and I feel overwhelmed. Like today ain't the day and I wish a nigga would. See, my realm of peace is broken. Words, though spoken, seem foreign and I'm pressed. Cause there are days when anxiety gets the best of me. As if my pride engaged in tug of war with gravity and I'm losing. Graciously cruising on the highway to nowhere, though nowhere is just in my mind. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed by the work days, trapped in the 40-hour work phase that they claim is an opportunity, chasing salaries. burning sanity instead of calories. These quote-unquote assets are not worth salvaging, and I am tired of watching dreams wash up on shores of forgotten memories, tired of living like a slave, overworked and underpaid. These songs, these hymns, these melodies, off like heresies, jog memories. Now I'm the one that's out of breath, wheezing like Wheezy. I'm leaning on hope, and I hope my hope don't fail. Yet I stand still in humility, still as humidity. On days when days seem longer than usual, my hope lies in the quotes of wisdom gone that one day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike most beautiful. Though vulnerable, my strength guides, drives, strives to the glory that awaits my trouble, the moment that I have conquered anxiety. Thank you. A few weeks ago, my dad celebrated his 55th birthday. He has been very instrumental in the young man I am today, the young man you see standing before you. So this piece is dedicated to him. I know he will enjoy it because he's streaming it. So yeah, Pops, this one for you. So, my father loves cameras. Yes, cameras. And as a child, I watched him use them daily. At home, he studied like tests in the morning, perfecting the craft called work, ensuring his aim. His aim was vision. The persistent precision of his shots made clear-clad minds. Cleared mine, and now I value the meaning of one shot. See, one shot is all you need to blow yet. All you need to go bow like genuflecting churchgoers stained by the blood of the Charleston Nine. 9 shots ring, who's calling death? Walking through the pews of grief, we grieve these omens. Saddened by the cracks in our Kodak moments, our smiles ain't worth the picture. When bullet-like film fills our streets build streaks of violence as tyrants hold guns like cameras, Sonys, cannons, ready to shoot at these militant bodies like nerves drop. Riddling, shots, riddling, cops shivering, not out of fear, but they're cold and it's sickening to the soul. My father works hard so I won't be a statistic, and for that I'm grateful, for that I strive, I rise to peaks where eagles slumber. I stand 6 feet tall, not 6 feet under. I move with the groove of the rolling thunder, where paintings ain't just paintings, but stories we live through, and cameras don't capture these moments. I always get a bit tense when I do that piece. I tend to write a lot about my family, share a lot of my personal stories with you guys. So this piece, the closing piece, is entitled Garden. Garden. My grandmother has a garden that she cares for like one of her own, filled with life. Love nourished in care that reminds me of home, and I feel like I'm home. In her garden I find peace, where daffodils greet and lavender plants speak. The sunflowers blush in the presence of bees that presently seem soiled with the roots of the trees, and I admire such ornaments. Sun-kissed compliments, orchestrating orchids in a trance while she waters them. And like the orchids, I too was in a trance where I dreamt of a garden. I called her Eden, and my cane enabled us to produce beautiful beings, beautiful seeds that in the end produce beautiful scenes where love was the only strange fruit hanging from our poplar trees. I am certain that with the right soil we'll cultivate purpose, laid on the surface of our hearts. Our hearts string melodies like harps, soothing each weed in our path and our steps. A unique form of greenhouse effect. With each breath speaks life over death, and such depth breeds clarity. 'Cause it's clear to me that I too want a God of my own. Thank you.
Yes, everyone! All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for the featured artist of the night, And1Dunna.